Hey guys, welcome to the quarterly anime impressions video. Today we're going to be going over a bunch of stuff that's going over the fall season. What we got? We got, your usual garbage. Boruto is still going. Apparently they haven't even, touched the manga content at all after, 100 plus chapters. Black Clover is still going. That manga really isn't very long. I don't know how they've managed to squeeze so much out of that, but okay. Sword Art Online is back. Oh yeah, I can't wait to never fucking watch that. Fairy Tail is over. Finally. I mean, it's only a matter of time before the sequel series or Eden Zero probably gets an anime, but for the time being, we have definitely entered an era of peace. One Piece looks good now. They got their shit together. Good for them. Pacing is probably still dreadful, but you know, it's a start. Psychopaths is back with Psychopaths III, baby. More like Psycho Ass, am I right? I don't think I've ever really talked about this. A long time ago, I did watch the, first half of the first season of Psychopaths. It wasn't bad, but I really couldn't get into it at all, so I just dropped it. I left it there. And since then, I've heard Psychopaths 2 was really bad, even from fans of the first season. And I don't know what people think of Psychopaths 3, but I really don't see any reason for me to check this one out ever again. But if you're liking it, if they really stepped up their game after season 2, good for them, good for you. We're all cool here. Anyway, so on to the stuff I have actually seen. Boom, 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 Dr. Stone, you're done for, kid. I'm sorry. Remember the video I made at the end of the summer season? I was very, very disappointed with Dr. Stone's adaptation. Of course, I love the manga, but the anime really wasn't doing much for me. It was just a really standard, bare minimum adaptation. It's fine. It does the job, and the story is good, but I really didn't see any point to watching this over reading the manga, so I just stopped. I'm like, whatever. It is a shame, though. I really wish this had better production, because I would have loved to see, a really, really cool take on Dr. Stone, but they just went for the easy way out with this one. Fire Force! This is a series I was really excited for when it first started. I remember I was praising it a ton in the first few episodes, but I hate to say it, it's kind of lost me at this point here. I think there's 15 episodes out or something, and I've really lost interest in the story and characters. I like the world, and I like these characters at first, but I really don't feel like many interesting things are happening. It all seems like pretty standard stuff at this point. They're just going around, there's the different companies or whatever, and there's these evil guys lurking in the shadows. It's kind of whatever, and I'm honestly getting kind of bored watching it, which really sucks, because I love Atsushi Okubo's style, I love Soul Eater, but this really isn't doing much for me. Thankfully, though, the animation and the directing is still absolutely fantastic, and definitely makes it not suck. It's kind of the same problem I had with Demon Slayer. When that started, I found the story and characters very boring and, run-of-the-mill and dull, but the action and animation was absolutely fantastic, so I stuck around. But the difference here is that with Demon Slayer, I found it very boring at the start, but then I slowly warmed up to it. But here, I found Fire Force really cool from the start, and now I'm slowly losing interest in it. So, yeah. I'll still watch it to the end of the season. I know they also have another season planned, because they're going to do up to 48 episodes. But if you haven't heard the news, Fire Force kind of bombed horrifically. Blu-ray sales are always kind of low for anything, just because people don't usually buy Blu-rays anymore. But they literally sold 100 copies. 100 copies. So I don't really know if the future of this series is looking all that great, but I still think a lot of things about it are cool. Of course, it looks amazing. I really hope it picks up by the end of the season.
In the name of God, in the name of God, in the name of God, we come to heaven!
Ah yeah, here we are again talking about Vinland Saga. I think 17 episodes have come out now, and it continues to be really, really fantastic. What's great to me is just seeing so many more people finally get into Vinland Saga, so many more people checking out the manga, seeing people making up theories about how the season's going to end when I've known for 5 years. It's all pretty awesome stuff. The last episode was a bit controversial, mainly amongst manga fans. We had this very big action scene that a lot of people, including myself, were looking forward to seeing, and while for the most part it was done pretty well, there were a few really iconic shots from the manga that they kind of shit the bed on, translating into anime, and some of that stuff is pretty disappointing. I mean, it's very small in the grand scheme of things, and I think a lot of us only really care so much because we're so invested in the manga, we want to see it like adapted super well. So, there are a few disappointing aspects as a manga reader here and there. If you're only watching the Vinland Saga anime, I'd really recommend, like, after you finish watching an episode, go check it out in the manga. But, this adaptation was never going to be perfect, and I still think they have done a pretty damn good job up to this point. So yeah, keep being awesome, Vinland Saga. There's some shit that's coming up that I'm unbelievably excited for. Now, wouldn't be a fall 2019 anime video without mentioning the big one. It's back, boys. One of the most popular and acclaimed Shonen Jump series of the modern era, We Never Learn. That's right, We Never Learn Season 2, baby. It's here, and it's We Never Learn. Y'all know where I stand on this series. I think it's a ton of fun. I think it's incredibly stupid, but it is what it is. I like the characters. I like the wacky situations they get into. It's really just the same stuff. If you liked it before, you'll probably like it here, and if you didn't, you won't. I'm interested to see what's going to happen, though, because the manga is ending really soon, and they've actually announced that there is going to be an OVA that comes out, alongside the ending of the manga. So I'm not really sure if they're just gonna leave the last chunk of this manga unadapted. They'd need another full season to do it, and I kind of would like to see that happen. I mean, why start if you're not gonna finish? But we'll see. We'll see. Furuhashi is still the best girl. I asked people a few days ago what were some shows that I could check out for this video, and one that came up was Babylon. It was on Amazon, so I watched it without knowing anything about it. This is a detective mystery series. It's about some prosecutors trying to solve a case involving a bunch of murders that are potentially linked to an upcoming political election. And honestly, I liked it quite a bit. It wasn't perfect. I think it took a bit in the first episode to really get rolling, but from the few episodes I have seen, I'm pretty engaged with it, and I think it's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to mystery stories like this, they can easily fall apart as they go on later, but as for right now, I'm engaged, and I really hope it does become something great near the end. And if you're looking for a new detective mystery type anime, I'd give this one a watch, because like I said, it's pretty cool so far. Some of you guys also recommended No Guns Life. Uh-oh. Stinky! Yeah, I don't know what some of you are on about. It wasn't awful, okay? It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. But for a show where the main character literally has a fucking revolver for a face, I was expecting a lot more. This is a cyberpunk series where people have cybernetic enhancements. The main character has a gun for a head. He saves a child or something. It's whatever. It's very dull. It took me forever to get through it. I only made it halfway through the second episode because at that point I was completely checked out. This series has this really dark tone meant to be taken super seriously, but then there's also occasionally moments of teehee boobies, which really made the tone inconsistent, so that didn't help at all. The animation was pretty good. It looked nice. But nothing mind-blowing. I just don't see what other people see in this one, so I guess this will be my boring show that I drop of the season that will piss everyone off. And now the real big one, of course, My Hero High School is back again for the 4th season. Kind of getting off to a slow start, not because of the content, but because the first episode, of course, was some shit filler recap that was completely unnecessary, and then you had 2 episodes, and then you have a break. So it's kind of, it's taken a while to really get to that level that it's probably going to be at. But yeah, it's My Hero Academia. I'm a fan of the series. I'm a fan of the arc that this season is going to adapt. Yeah, minus whatever the fuck the first episode was. Episodes 2 and 3 were pretty enjoyable. Episode 2 was a bit weird. There were some shots that didn't really look that great. Some of the characters seemed a bit off-model to me. And I wasn't really a fan of how they structured this episode. I know they followed the manga, but it worked a lot better in the manga. Overall wasn't bad. Episode 3 was a pretty solid My Hero Academia episode. I'm pretty glad that it's back. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the later stuff animated. I'm a bit upset though because I was always a very big proponent of adapt the internship, culture festival, and pro hero arc in this season. Please do it. You can make it work. You do 3 chapters an episode. You can do it, please. I'm pretty sure this whole season is just going to be the internship arc. Not only do they seem very adamant of sticking to the 2 chapter per episode thing, they added a scene in episode 3 where it shows the other students talking about who they're going to be interning with, and I'm pretty sure this is setting up a bunch of filler episodes which is going to show the other students with their internship. Now that could be cool. My Hero has had some alright fillers in the past. It might be cool to see Hawks way earlier than he would show up, but if they do go that route, I will be pretty disappointed. That being said though, this arc is really good, so I think overall the season will be pretty great, especially if we get some of that, sexy bone Saga that they're known for. So yeah, cool shit. We Never Learn is still the best Shonen Jump series there on Saturday. Blade of the Immortal. Was not expecting this. I mean, I was expecting it. I was expecting this to be a thing. It was announced. We knew it was coming out. What I wasn't expecting is them to be on fucking acid. They really trying to take the entirety of Blade of the Immortal. It's like 30 volumes or something. And squeeze it down to 24 episodes. I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to do. What the fuck? Yeah, the pacing in this show is absolutely ridiculous. Like, they've been adapting like almost a volume worth of content per episode. It's actually insane. And if they really are gonna keep at this pace, if they're actually going to fit the entire manga into 24 episodes, the pacing's not going to slow down at all, and some stuff will probably get skipped over. But it's really not all bad, because the production is actually really excellent. Now, the animation quality itself isn't anything too crazy, but it's really the direction and the fight choreography and the camera work. It really does look amazing. So it makes me really sad to temporarily drop this series. The reason I'm doing that is because if I'm going to experience Blade of the Immortal, I want to read the full manga. Like, the last omnibus comes out in a few weeks. I don't want to watch this anime and potentially miss out on a bunch of stuff. So for now, I'm putting this one aside. I will go back to it, and I'd probably recommend other people do the same thing. It really boggles my mind why they're doing it like this, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. And now, for the best new show of the season, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong, we have Beastars. Oh, sorry, I mean, I'm excited for Beastars, an upcoming Netflix show that looks great, but you can't legally watch in English yet, so what am I talking about? Of course I haven't seen it. It takes place in this high school, full of humanoid animals. You have Legacy, the main character, who's a wolf. He starts to develop a bit of an attraction for a dwarf rabbit named Haru, who is kind of a massive slut. And oh shit, also people are getting murdered, and oh shit, you gotta be in the play. And oh shit, I fucking love this show. The story is so awesome. Like, it really puts you into this world and makes it seem unbelievable. The characters are super grounded, and everything about this society is really cool, and it makes a ton of sense. It deals with stuff similar to Zootopia, like racism and all this stuff between the herbivores and carnivores, but this being a much more mature story can take things quite a few steps farther, and seeing these things be explored is really, really cool. And I absolutely cannot wait to see where this series goes and to see what's going to happen, because I have no idea. I haven't read the manga, and it is quite a long manga at this point, and I hear it just keeps getting better and better, so I'm so hyped to see the rest of this. But of course, the big talking point about this show is its 3D animation. Usually a taboo thing when it comes to anime. All 3D is shit, you guys, don't you know? Well, that's not the case. You see, this Studio Orange, they've been around for a bit. They've made a few shows. I haven't seen any of them, but they have gotten quite a bit of a reputation for making some really, really good 3D anime. And holy fucking shit, do they live up to that reputation. Nothing about the CGI in this show looks bad at all. It all looks fantastic, and it's proof that CGI can be really, really good in anime. It's often used to save time, to save money. Some things are easier to do in 3D, but if you actually put a lot of time and effort into it, it looks absolutely fantastic. The characters are so expressive, the movements are so clean and slick, and just all around super great stuff. I really have nothing but praise for this show so far, and also, can we talk about the opening? God damn, not only is the song a bop, but they actually use stop motion animation, which I don't think I've ever seen before as an anime opening. I mean, there's probably a couple examples here or there. The only unfortunate thing is, like Jeff helped me remember earlier, it is a Netflix show, meaning that there's no legal way to watch it in English right now. So, you may have to find your own means to take a look at it, or you could wait until maybe January. I don't know when Netflix plans on releasing this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 24 episodes. Netflix might split the cores up. But if you want to take a walk on the wild side, then head on over to our sponsor of the week, freeanimetv.ru/English sub Beastars. Head on over to there. Those are my impressions for this season of anime. Pretty cool stuff. But the question is, what comes next? Well, you see, here's a list of all of the shows I have watched or am watching this year. At the end of the year, I am planning on on making a proper top 10 anime of the year video. But of course, you might be noticing that not everything is here. There's a lot of shows missing. Some shows that could have been really popular, some shows that were like super underrated and amazing and no one's watched it. Now it's your job to let me know what those shows are. Because I'm no superhuman, I'm sure I missed out on a ton of great stuff this year, and if I am going to make a proper, best anime of the year video, I want to watch as much stuff as I can. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts on all the series I talked about in the comments below, as well as leave recommendations for other stuff I can watch, and I'll see you all very soon for the Mob Psycho review. I hope, God please, I hope. I've been trying to get that video out for like months now. I'll see you then.